The Rhode Island Foundation, partnering with passionate Rhode Islanders to lead, transform, and inspire our state. Learn more at rhodeislandfoundation.org.
Welcome to another segment of In Another Opinion, a public information program where our discussions are focused on the communities of color in the state of Rhode Island. I'm your host, Peter Wells. My guests today are Ron Crosson, Executive Director of Urban Ventures, and Solange Diallo-Lopes, founder of The Corporate Sister. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
This is a very timely show. The state of Rhode Island is in a flux of trying to develop jobs, and one of the reasons or ways to obviously to increase jobs is to have employers. And Urban Ventures is about working with individuals who are micro businesses for the most part to develop these businesses and therefore to be able to hire employees. So tell us, Ron, how long have you been in the business of developing businesses?
Well, it's interesting. I've been with Urban Ventures officially as the Executive Director since the end of October of last year. I've been around Urban Ventures since for the last two Executive Directors terms, behind the scenes kind of helping out with messaging and some of the initiatives that they've had as a volunteer. But myself also, I managed and ran my own business for 18 years. And so, and during that time I was giving advice to others in terms of strategy and how to develop their ideas.
Very good. And Solange, you know, I introduced you as coming from Urban Ventures only because of the information you just gave me offset regarding your interest in becoming a board member. But you are also a client of Urban Ventures. And so tell me how you got involved with Urban Ventures and what brought you there.
Absolutely. So I was looking for a small business incubator to help in the growth and development of my own business in Rhode Island. And I was fortunate to come across Urban Ventures information, after which I contacted them, and I had the opportunity to meet Ron. And from our first meeting on, I was very committed to their mission, and I also understood how much they have the potential and the willingness to help small business owners like myself, from the idea and the inception of the business to the business actually growing, and it was really a godsend for me, and that's how the relationship started. Very
good. So Ron, how does your organization survive? Are you on grants? Do you have fee services? Or how does it work?
Well, we offer our services at this time free of charge to anyone who comes to us with an idea. To assist them in whatever manner they need to get up and launched and hopefully become successful is our goal. We are primarily funded by the Rhode Island State Legislature. We were created out of a legislative act in 1999 which directed the creation of an urban incubator to service underrepresented communities. And over the years, they have been a major supporter of our initiatives, as well as we are now looking at going out and diversifying the funding and sponsorships and going out into the corporate field, because we feel at this point in time the innovation that Urban Ventures has brought to the table can really be of interest to other the tech industry and other industries as well.
How many people on your staff, Ron?
Well, right now it's myself and my administrative assistant. We are blessed to have a board of advisors, or a board of directors that serve as our advisors, which consist of Jaime Aguayo, who has experience with the SBA, as well as real estate. We have
I know Jaime very well.
Dr. Ed Mazie, who was the former dean of the School of Business for the University of Rhode Island. We have Adam Diaz, who is a well-known accountant in the area that really helps with nonprofits especially. We also have our attorney, which is Andrew Kagan, Bob Fay, who has tremendous banking experience, Solange Diallo-Lopes, who we're blessed to have just joined us and also Helen Morales, who has been with the organization for many years and is now also working with the 10,000 Small Businesses project at CCRI.
Very good, very good. So you draw on your leadership to provide some of the expertise with your clients.
Exactly, as well as over the years, I have really gotten a chance to know a lot of members of the community in business that we draw from, and many are willing to give of their time and energy to help contribute. And we also hire some individuals to come in on a small basis to help with a particular project as needed for it. One of the things that I, coming from business, understand is that if you don't have sales, you don't have revenue generation. So we can give you workshops on QuickBooks and how to manage these different things, but if you don't have revenue coming through the door, you're not going to survive. So we find that a lot of the needs of our community might be as simple as getting business cards, getting a basic website. The vast majority of our entrepreneurs that we worked with, one of the things that we found was that they really didn't have any web presence. And it led us to introduce a tool which we call the Urban Ventures Launchpad, which gives them a dedicated space where we can show them how to get up their basic website and develop that. And that's one of the few tools that one of the tools that we use.
Now, does your clients pay a fee?
They don't,
for
actually.
services?
Right now, we offer those services free of charge.
Even the website development?
Even the website development. That's something that I learned how to do, and it's one of those things that I will, we just sit and help them go through and demystify the understanding of what it takes to get their own domain, how to do a basic launch of a website and basic maintenance. And we feel that will also help web developers that are out there, because once a person understands and is no longer fearful of the whole web process, now we can bring those web developers in to talk to them about the next iteration. What's the next level? So if a person knows how to code a website, then we want to talk to you, because some of our clients may be a future client of yours.
Very good. So Solange, so tell me about your experience with Urban Ventures.
Well, I've had a wonderful experience with Urban Ventures so far, and it keeps on going. So from helping me clarify and refine my vision and my strategy
I was going to ask you about that next.
For my business, which is the Corporate Sister, and is a platform dedicated at helping women maximize their potential at work and in life, to devising strategies for monetization and bringing in revenue, as Ron mentioned earlier. We've been through the whole process of basically going from the idea to developing it into a revenue growing business, and we're still working on it. I have actually a book in the works that I started working on with the help of Ron and Urban Ventures. So we're still working through the process, but so far it has been wonderful. Has given me great insight into the business process and into how I can take my own venture to the next level.
Very good. So Corporate Sister is the name of your business.
Yes.
And it's designed to help other women, assist other women in developing businesses.
Well, help other women in maximizing their potential in their careers and in their businesses. So there's a focus for both, women in careers in the corporate field, as well as in their businesses, and it impacts their entire lifestyle in general.
So Ron, how did you see Urban Ventures assisting Solange initially?
Well, it's interesting when people go to our website, they will see, because one of the questions we used to always get is, what does Urban Ventures do? So we define it as, we help entrepreneurs or micro businesses launch and grow. And we will work with entrepreneurs who already have a business that are looking to grow. And that could be, I've been in business, but I really don't make a lot of money, so I still have to work a full-time job, but I'd love this to be my full-time job, to an existing business that is looking to launch an additional product. That's one of the clients that we're working with as well. But a lot of, I would say, 60% of the businesses that we're working with are entrepreneurs that have an idea and they just need to turn it into a business. Solange came to us, and she had the corporate sister, and it was an idea that came out of her experience in corporate America, and kind of she has an accomplished resume, and really when she launched into deciding to be an entrepreneur, it came from a place also of where there wasn't really a satisfaction that she found in corporate America, and she felt others around in the same situation were in need of that support. So she launched the Corporate Sister, but she felt like she really wanted to make a bigger impact. And so what we've done is really through our development of the idea. She is in the process of capturing these successes. One of the things we go through life and we fail to realize that we have climbed a lot of mountains, right? We have climbed so many mountains, and each one of them has taught us that it's not about we haven't done this before, it's we've done it before, it just looks a little different. And so that was something that really the perspective that Solange was coming from, and we helped her kind of think through that, and we're really looking forward to that book coming out because we really feel it's going to help a lot of people. But in the meantime, she has also hit the speaking circuit. She's been talking, she just came back from New York speaking to a group of women, successful women, and who really responded well to it. So it's that. So the deep development of the idea is really critical for us, regardless of who you are and how you're coming to us.
So in putting that message together, I imagine is the key issue. What is the name of your book that's coming out?
I haven't. I don't have a final title as of yet. But it will sure be shared once I get one.
Well, very good. Yeah, we'll have to have you back on the show to talk about it once that's out there. So, how do you measure your success rate, Ron? Urban Ventures success rate.
The measurement of success rate is a little challenging, because is it when you help someone develop a business plan? Is it when someone qualifies for a loan? Is it when someone launches their business? As far as when I came to the office as executive director, I said to Marlene, our administrative assistant, that I want us to measure successes of sustained businesses, a business that has launched and has been in business for a while, and that has been able to have that be their full-time business, where they don't have to work a full-time job, where that really is. And because when you look at one person who has their own business that's successful, that is one job created. And it's great if they can create more. But I believe once we have gotten through a business launched and they've been able to sustain themselves for 2 to 3 years, that's success for me. So the jury's still out in terms of the numbers. We're starting to look at that from how we tweak the measurement of our successes, but that's really what's important.
Well, because I'm thinking that if your organization was created via legislation, at some point in time, someone has got to come back to you and say, or someone say, well, what's the result of this legislation? So there's got to be some metrics besides just numbers.
Exactly, and going through the metrics, the iteration when the organization was first created, I remembered it. It actually had a facility. It was a physical incubator. There were individuals that were occupying a space, and when you had that, was that success? I knew some of those businesses that were there. JR, when he came in, the former executive director. I
remember JR.
Yeah,
we met when he first started.
He talked to me at the time about the creation of the e-incubator, which was a method of leveraging technology to deliver services to a community that had ever-increasing needs, but where funding sources were decreasing. Just a few years ago, our budget was as low as $70,000. That was the entire budget for the entire organization.
And at that point, how many clients did you have on the books?
At that time, there were roughly, the numbers showed that there were several hundred that were served up to that point in time.
Okay, all right.
But also the method through which the initial program was being run was bringing in consultants that would work with the clients. And some of the clients actually didn't realize that they had a connection to Urban Ventures. They actually established that connection with the consultant, even though Urban Ventures was involved. So the numbers in terms of going back and tracking and seeing how the success rate has been a little difficult from that standpoint. But the number of organizations and businesses that we've helped over the years and come into contact with has been in the hundreds. But what I want to take a look at is really how we're doing with the clients in terms of their success, sustainability over the next several years. And I'll give you an example of that with Tony Ansa, who, thank you, because the Providence American newspaper just did an article on him. He is going to be launching July 1st ANSA Africa, which is a project, it's a for-profit project that is designed to really be a conduit for donors and nonprofits in Africa, and to be able to do it in easy, simple, and trust, with a high level of trust, to be able to deliver that. And for the impact that can be made there, we have Solange and her project that we're excited about. We have Idania Abreu, who yesterday I was just filming a mini commercial, and that's one of the things, is us helping to also get the word out. Today, after I leave here, I'll be completing that, a second shoot for her on that, and she's going to be launching Adora's Dream, which is designed to bring women and also makeup artists together for empowerment in an online fashion. So anywhere in the world they can reach out. We have Sharon Cornelius, who is a contractor who came to us, needed some marketing assistance. We helped her with logo, business cards, also the website, development of her website to give her a presence, because she's really done a tremendous amount of great work out there, and she's been talking to us about that. Another is Dios Digital Marketing, which is a marketing firm which it was interesting because I remember one meeting at the end of last year when we're sitting down, and before we met, the client stopped and said, before we meet, I have to tell you, what we talked about in the last meeting, between then and now, we closed 2 contracts worth $3,000. And we have 8 more contracts that are in the works. And it was all about helping them get clarity on the idea. Where they were stuck was about how they described themselves to them. And we just had to make a couple of adjustments and go from there. So we're having some good successes. There are more to tell, but I know we're short on time, but look forward to it.
Yeah, we'll have to get you back. Solange, now you're from Senegal originally.
I am.
Yes. How well, maybe I won't ask you how old you were when you came, but let me ask you a question. Is there any kind of an operation in Senegal that mirrors what Ron's doing here with Urban Ventures?
Not that I'm aware of at the moment. There may be some micro-organizations aimed at helping maybe women or some less successful parts of the population with smaller businesses. But to the extent of what Ron and Urban Ventures do, not yet, not that I'm aware of.
No, but the interesting reason I asked that, because as you were talking, Ron, you just mentioned 4 or 5 businesses, and it sounded as if most of them, if not all of them, were championed by a female. Is this your experience right now, that there are more women going into business, minority women going into business today, than men?
Yes, definitely. 75% of the clients that we've been working with since I've come on board are women, and it's tremendous. You know, it makes me think of we are going to be doing a micro business innovation summit that we rescheduled for the fall. Actually, it'll be in the month of October, and we're settling on the date. But we had it. We were blessed to have Dr. Songwei, who is the sister of the former executive director here. She is the executive director of the Economic Council on Africa for the United Nations, and she was scheduled to join us at URI The reason that she couldn't be there, and the reason why we were scheduling, was because she made an announcement of $500 million that was going to be put into a fund to help female entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs on the continent of Africa. And she was concerned about travel because the day, 2 days after she was scheduled to be at our conference, she was going to be meeting with all the heads of finance for the countries of Africa and to talk about this. So, you know, women entrepreneurship is really on the rise. It is really leading from what we can see here. They're leading the programs that and the businesses that we're helping with right now.
And in Rhode Island, it's kind of interesting. I've had Lisa Ranglin on the show from REBA, and we talked a bit about the development of black businesses and some of the obstacles that black and Latino businesses actually also face. We had Sixia Divine on the show who talked about that as well from her perspective. And it does seem to me that minority women are just far more active in many segments of our society today. Politics, business, education. And while I look forward for our brothers to step up, but the bottom line is we need the businesses regardless who's leading them. And so Solange, you represent the future, I think, especially for small businesses.
I believe I do, and it's been shown many times over that minority women, especially African American women, have been creating businesses at a disproportionately higher rate than pretty much any other parts of the population. And although we do face some obstacles in terms of keeping these businesses alive and having access to the types of funding that we would need in order to grow those businesses, in addition to other societal obstacles that we face both in the workplace and in business, I think we are the future, and I think a lot more businesses and opportunities for development will come out of women in general and minority women in particular.
So when you first met Ron and got involved with Urban Ventures, of course, as Ron has already stated, that the main goal is to dig deep into the idea of the business, to help develop that idea and to express it and to be able to articulate both in writing and, of course, in print, I suppose, what that business really is and how you represent that business.
Exactly.
Using that as a backdrop, was there any change with what your initial thoughts were in your business to where you are today?
Yes, there definitely were changes because as Ron usually says to me, you really can't see the label from the inside of the bottle, right? So one of the issues that many entrepreneurs face is being so close to your business and being so close to your idea that it is hard for you to see the larger vision. Although the vision is there and it is certainly in you, which is the reason why you are creating the business, sometimes, actually most of the time, you need this assistance and you need this outside advisory vision and function to help you really hone into your vision. For the corporate sister, it was a matter of understanding that it's not just about, for women in particular, it's not just about our careers or our businesses and having the right tools to advance, but it's about making it a more all-encompassing, a more holistic approach that that helps us bring all of our potential to the table of our work, whether it's in our corporate careers or in our businesses. It's been proven many times over that companies and businesses that have women as part of their boards or within their workforce fare much better than businesses that don't have as many women at their helm. And for women to understand and to really maximize their potential in an all-encompassing approach would make a world of difference. And that's what working with Ron helped me really zone in and hone into that aspect of my vision.
So Ron, what's your, go ahead, you were going to make a comment.
I was going to, something that is really, I'm really excited about with the project that Solange is working on is she, in corporate America, was experiencing challenges that many women face. And through this project, she is actually going to be going back to corporate America to help them make and create better environments for which will benefit those women who are working in corporate America. Not everybody wants to be an entrepreneur and out on their own,
Sure.
and many people, love corporate America and would love to be there, just would love a greater environment and a more empowering environment. And she's going to help corporate leaders understand that. And I love that, because it's going to not only help the corporations from the profit standpoint, as she was just talking about, but it's going to create a better environment for the women that are working there. And it's almost like a full circle that's being created here. And I have to say, I've been blessed because a lot of the entrepreneurs that we're working with are approaching their businesses from not just the standpoint of profit, but also standpoint of making lives better for those around them. And it's wonderful.
Quality of life is very important, and we're getting close to running out of time, Ron. But I wanted to ask you, how is Urban Ventures marketing itself?
That is thank you for having us on your show. This is an example of that. We have been getting out there, and one of our entrepreneurs is also that we've been blessed to have on board, because it kind of goes both ways, is Ann Clanton with Ann Clanton Communications. And I started talking to Ann. I've known her for many years, and said, let's work in an official capacity to help you develop your business. And through it, she's an amazing PR person. She's been really helping us to also get our message out there. Our website, you can go to urbanventuresri.org and learn about us and simplify. We've tried to simplify the message to basically also let you know we help work on ideas, get you to launch, profitability, and then growth. And we have some testimonials. You'll see Solange and some of the other entrepreneurs out there that we're working with and their perspectives. But we're looking to get out as much as possible. We're going to be doing also micro mornings, which is going to be an opportunity to bring in outside speakers to put in a room,
That's
entrepreneurs
good.
they can hear from. And
when will you begin that?
actually, that's going to be beginning at the end of this month. We're going to have the first micro morning last week of this month. We're lining up the speaker, and we'd love to. Also, we're going to have capabilities of bringing in speakers from around the world, because we're going to have teleconferencing capability, and it's really about getting people in front of our entrepreneurs that can really help them with Q&A and dialogue. Yeah.
Well, be sure to let us know
Definitely
as to when you're having your first one. I'd like to attend that if possible, and just kind of get a better sense of where Urban Ventures is and where it's going. We have run out of time, but I want to thank today's guests, Ron Crosson and Solange Diallo-Lopes, and you, the viewers, for tuning in to another segment of In Another Opinion. A special thanks to PBS for making this program possible. I'm your host, Peter Wells. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at IA Opinion.
The Rhode Island Foundation, partnering with passionate Rhode Islanders to lead, transform, and inspire our state. Learn more at rhodeislandfoundation.org.